What's up, guys? Welcome back to HMHT. My name is Ben, your host, of course. And yesterday on August the 11th, Apple released a new watchOS update, which is watchOS 8 Developer Beta 5. Now you can see the time that I'm seeing this update, that it's actually 1:45 a.m. It's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. So I decided to wake up and actually just do the software update and then cover what's new later when I wake up officially later on. And if we go to see the software update size, you can see my watch here that it's checking for an update, and you see the watchOS 8 Developer Beta 5, and the size, as you can see, it comes in at exactly 395 megabytes, and this is because I'm updating from watchOS 8 Beta 4. If you're coming from a different version, then you might see a slightly bigger or smaller update size depending also on the series of the watch that you have. Now obviously this is not all that Apple released yesterday, so I want to show you some other software updates that came out yesterday. You see that we have macOS Monterey Beta 5. This came out yesterday on August 11th, as well as iOS 15 and iPadOS 15 Beta 5. These came out a day before yesterday, so they came out on Tuesday. And yesterday we also had watchOS 8 Beta 5, and we also got tvOS 15 Beta 5 on Tuesday. So just random releases. Usually these updates came out at the same day, like on a Tuesday, but Apple decided to first of all drop iOS and tvOS, and then yesterday that's when we saw watchOS as well as macOS. So I've already updated my device, as you can see here, and as you can see, if I go to my notifications, you can see that your Apple Watch is now up to date, and it seems like my skin here also got a small update. But let's go now into the Apple Watch and see the software changes that came with watchOS 8 Beta 5. So if we go to General and then go to the About This Watch section, you can see the new build number that we have, and it's 19R5323G. So now the letter that we have at the end with this build number has a G. And if you recall correctly, on watchOS 8 Beta 4, we actually had a letter that was, we had a build number that was ending with an E at the end. So it's like, in a sense, we took two steps in the negative. So there's some issues that are still here with this update. I recommend you not update your main device to this beta, because there's things going on in the background that we might not be aware of, and that perhaps will come into light later on. So that is the build number that we have. And now let's talk about the new features and changes that came with this update, because there is quite a few, although not much. I'm sure you saw from the update size that it's very small, right? But during my update screen, I actually noticed that when I was switching like screens like this, you see how the time changes. It goes to 10:09, and you see when I actually select the watch or the watch face, you notice that it actually puts the correct time. Now this is the correct time, as you can see here. Let me roll this down, or I'll lock this device, and you can see that it's 5:58. And now when I go to the Apple Watch and try to change a watch face, you notice that there's this bug that's there where the time actually changes to 10:09. Also a different watch face, you notice that the time changes to 10:09, and even the photos watch face here, as well as the portrait watch face. So that is, I think, a new bug that's there with this update. Hopefully it gets resolved soon. And I started seeing it on Beta 4 as I was updating from the time when you saw when I updated at around 2 a.m. Now that is something that I noticed. Now there's a change that has to do with the weather app. So if you look at this weather app that we have here, you can actually see that it's darker than what we are used to. So let me show you the other weather app that is here on this older device that's not on updated to the latest version. So look at the bluish in the background. You can see that the blue color on the watchOS 8 Beta 5 is darker compared to what we have here. So before on Beta 4, it used to look exactly like this. this is exactly how the weather app used to look like, but now you can see that it's almost as dark as the Apple support app, or the blue in the background is almost as dark as the Outlook icon that you see there. So that is a change that's here with watchOS 8 Beta 5. And also another change that's here with this update, if you have audio devices that have spatial audio and that support lossless audio as well, you can scroll down, or rather scroll up, and access your control center here, and you'll be able to see a toggle that allows you to switch between transparency mode on your notifications, which is something that's there if you have a supported device, as well as on iOS 15 Beta 5 you'll be able to see such a toggle. But since I don't have the new Apple AirPods Pro or the AirPods Max, this is not something I can show you. You can always feel free to check it out on the internet, and you'll be able to see the toggle that I'm mentioning. Now, that is one of the other changes that came with this update. So just minor wording change also has been mentioned when it comes to the home application with this app, and also another app that received minor wording change, although we are not fully aware what this is, has to do with the Maps app. So the Maps app also received minor wording change. Not major change came to the Maps app on the Apple Watch, since it's limited to as to how much you can do with this update. So you can see that, you know, it's not as smooth as you would like a final build to be. You can see when I switch screens, sometimes it goes way too small, sometimes the crop ratio is not as good as it's supposed to be. But hey, this is the update, and I'll be letting you know if there are any major new features that I find or major issues that come afterwards. Now, if we go to the release notes of this update, I want to show you something that's interesting when it comes to watchOS 8 Beta 5. So we go to the release notes here, and you'll be able to see that we have a ton of known issues, and among those known issues is that your watch might repeatedly disconnect unexpectedly from your phone. So I think that's exactly what happened that caused me to miss this update, because I rely on my Apple Watch for most of my notifications. So I think the beta 4 that I was on also had the same issue, because I missed my update notification, and so that's a bug that you can watch out for. And then you can see that we have focus non-issues, we have music non-issues, and a ton of non-issues. And what makes this different from the other watchOS 8 betas in the past that we've heard is that there is no resolved issue. So these are now the notes of watchOS 8 Beta 4, but if you go all the way up, you will notice that it's all non-issues and deprecations, but no resolved issues. I guess that goes to explain why the build number of this watchOS 8 Beta 5 went backwards by 2 steps. So there's something that still needs to be resolved. Actually, quite a number of new things that needs to be resolved with this update before I can recommend that you update to it. Now, also another thing that is there as an issue with this update has to do with the camera pairing. So if you try and connect your camera of your iPhone like this, sometimes what you will see is that it will sort of, you know, disconnect your watch, or sometimes your watch might boot up. That was there also on Beta 4 as an issue. And also there's an issue when it comes to voice commands and Siri when you are trying to use like home accessories, or just basically using Siri to perform commands, where you see Siri will record things but Siri will not do any specific function. So that is also a non-issue with this update. And there's a lot of people on Beta 4 and on watchOS 8 Beta 3 that were complaining that when it comes to battery, it was actually so terrible. So for me, fortunately, on watchOS 8, the betas that I've been on, this is the Apple Watch Series 6. I got it brand new last year, so it's fairly new. And let me show you my battery that I'm getting here on my Apple Watch. So if we go to the battery section, you can see that I basically charged it you know, almost midnight, you know, like around after I updated. It's not so clear here, but that's when I updated. I charged my Apple Watch rather, and it was last charged to 100% 1 hour ago. And right now, if you are to see the charge that I have 99%. So in 1 hour I used now I used 2% because it just went down to 98%. So that is how my battery is performing. But still, with some people who were getting like 2 days out of their battery on the Apple Watch, they are still not even finishing the day with like 50% of charge, which is still an issue with this update. So you know, that is an issue that I'm not sure whether it's just affecting older Apple Watch series or even newer ones, but for me it hasn't been affecting me that much. Now those are also the new bugs that are here with this update. Now when it comes to when this update could potentially be released, you can see that today is August 12, and basically Apple has been on a 2-week release cycle since the first beta. Let me just reduce my brightness so that you can see better. So yeah, I was saying today's August 12 and Apple has been on a 2-week release cycle. So if they continue with the 2-week release cycle, and if things are almost the same as what we saw on watchOS 7, then we might get all the way to beta 8 or beta 9, which will make the official release of watchOS 8 to the public either in the first few weeks of October or mid-October. So hopefully Apple can quickly move to a weekly release cycle, which means like on the 17th and on the 24th and on the 1st or 2nd we might get an update. And if that has happened, this update could come out quick, but I think there's still a few things that needs to be done, and it you know, stability wise it still has a long way to go, and I would basically look for a release date towards sometime in early October. Now other than that, guys, that's about it for me when it comes to watchOS 8 beta 5. Let me know if you're going to be updating, and this has been my experience so far. I might do a follow-up video later on if I find anything new. And also for people that are on macOS Big Sur, I would like to let you know that yesterday Apple released macOS Big Sur 11.5.2, and it's out to all supported devices and Macs. So enjoy the update, guys, and stay safe, and thank you so much for watching and reaching this far, and I will definitely see you in the next video very soon. Peace.